social media, there was a video that this person who ran track, I can't think of her name right now. I think it's like Bonner, so I figured her first name.
The Jamaican sister.
Yeah, she ran track. She's Jamaican, but she lives in the States. And beautiful chocolate skin. And in the video that she shows, she progressively begins to get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter until she's, essentially the black individual that we saw in the beginning no longer exists. And so I didn't know this until I kind of started looking this up, but colorism obviously is a big thing. Oprah did a documentary on it in 2015 called Color is Blind. But this industry is an $8 billion a year industry globally. And in the US alone, people spend $2.3 billion of light in their skin.
Wow.
And that's the thing that I wanted to make sure that we highlight, because you didn't necessarily say it. Before she started getting lighter and lighter and lighter in her clip, her video clip, she's showing bottles of skin lightening liquid that she's about to use.
Yeah.
And she tracks you through when it starts to get spotty, all the way to the point where it's bleached, and she looked like and the sister was nice and chocolate, and now she looks
like
really,
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, like Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
But what if she had some kind of skin pigmentation thing? Because I want to say that I saw something about that later on.
She didn't say she did. She's wanted to be light skinned.
Right.
And I guess my question to you guys is,
and then she said that after using the product, she stopped using the products. And after, I think it said like 6 years, she was still, or maybe it was 6 months, I got to go back and double check. She was still light, and she was celebrating that. Like, I don't even use it no more, and I retain my lightness.
Right.
This was a goal of hers. Admittedly, this was her goal, was to become, light skinned. And my question to you guys, from a colorism perspective, how do you see, colorism playing a role in this? And why do you think the system would do? Why do you think people kind of go down this path? What's the benefit of it outside of a medical condition? I know you brought that up, Jay, but outside of a medical condition, why in the world would people legitimately want to go down this path? And this is they project this industry to be $12 billion in the next, 5 years. That's significant. So,
all right. So I'll start with this. You never know the baggage other people are carrying. You never know the trauma that they have gone through, and you don't get to decide how people are traumatized by what they come in contact with. And I will say, there are people who will look at kids, and you see this especially in like Latin Caribbean countries. Like, don't stay out in the sun in the summertime, you're gonna get too dark.
Right.
You see grandmamas favoring lighter babies over darker babies.
It's real.
And then people that had that experience.
And then commenting on, you negatively commenting on the. Now that's a symptom of a different illness, mental illness that grandmama's suffering. But you don't.
Illness?
Yeah, that's a mental illness. When you black and you don't like blackness, I think you crazy. That's my own. That's my own personal opinion. I'm not a professional.
Right.
I don't do this. I think you're crazy when you don't like what you reflect. Get out of here with that. But I do think she may be traumatized, and she feels the deal with her trauma is to get lighter and lighter and lighter. And as Nicole Cameron said, self-hate.
Right.
Self-hate.
This just made me want to hug my daughter and be like, try to reinforce to her, you know what I'm saying? You good enough as is. We read about this kind of stuff on the internet all the time. Pressure that people feel to adhere to a certain kind of look, whether it be the color of their skin or the length of the hair or texture of the hair or whatever it might be. And it's an unfortunate thing that I think women especially have to deal with more so than men do. It's messed up. It shouldn't be that way, but it is. I understand, in her culture, and she was like at pain to say, I'm Jamaican, it's okay, basically.
She did say that. Yeah,
so I can't really speak to what is acceptable, what is not. I'm not in her shoes. You know what I'm saying? I don't see much of a philosophical moral difference between this and getting the BBL. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever kind of plastic surgery you want to get. It's an effort to change your appearance to better reflect, you know what I'm saying, who you feel like you are. So, you know, God bless her. You know, she got to do what she got to do. I don't want my children to ever feel like their natural God-given whatever it is not enough. But you know what I'm saying? People make them kind of decisions all the time.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you said that you don't see the difference between this and elective surgery. I think they're in the same book, but totally different chapters, in my opinion. Right? Like if you don't like your skin complexion, to Rob's point, you don't like you, like the totality of who you are, you want to change. Like you got to go through from head to toe, applying this stuff with regularity. Mm-hmm. If you want to enhance, change aspects of your physical appearance, I mean, it ain't my cup of tea, but I get why people, want to do that. People who have breast cancer and they get a breast augmentation to kind of help offset, having a mastectomy. You can't. That's a totally different thing than saying I want to bleach my skin. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's valid. Sister has a mastectomy. She gets breast augmentation so she can level out and it looks full. I get that. But then you also got sisters who hop on a plane and go to, Colombia,
Miami,
or wherever.
Wherever it's cheaper, and do it for confidence reasons. They want to feel more confident about their body.
What's the difference between this and similar a bunch of fake teeth?
Confidence.
It's like, are people not supposed to get braces?
That's what I'm saying. What's the difference? I don't see the difference. Like either way it goes,
it could be a health concern
with
depending
the teeth,
on how the teeth are. You know what I'm saying? So you may need braces because of it affect other things down the line.
If I ever got real money, I'm going to Colombia and getting the Steve Harveys. I'm getting them 50 cents.
Man, I heard it was like $50 down there. But all right, so let me ask you this. So because what I do is when I come across young Black girls, elementary to middle school, and when I can assess that the situation is safe to have comments like this, like they're with their parents, mama, daddy, whatever, I may make a comment like, "Oh, sis, look at all that chocolate skin. Look at that hair. That hair is full."
You do say stuff like I've seen you do that. Yes.
Because people don't put enough emphasis on the beauty behind curly, kinky hair, full lips, chocolate skin. They don't put the emphasis on it. And I don't know what they may be getting in the elementary school because we remember African booty scratcher, burnt toast, all these little, you look like a raisin. We know all these little, colorist things that kids say against kids.
Right.
Now, to the other point that I think either John or KG brought up that it may be different or the same for dudes. I think it's a little bit different for dudes because dudes get clowned if they light skin. If they on that Albie Shore,
kind of dark
Chris
too.
Williams, now we in the era where you got to be Morris Chestnut and Tay Diggs for people to give you love. All right, Cage, I see your hand up.
Two things I want to bring up. One, I think more men are now traveling down this path of enhancements and stuff like that too. Michael Jackson was the first public person that we knew that did something like this. You got Sammy Sosa and others now kind of in this enhancement path. So I think men are catching up in this society. The second thing that I'll say, and I learned this, is that for girls, for women, after 5th grade, their self-confidence deteriorates until they get into their 40s. The statistics, data that talks about all of this. And so I get it, right? But to your point, Ra, I don't know what contributes to that thought process or those experiences, but I do know kids are mean. And I do think that there's parents and families play a significant role in encouraging and creating self-confidence. But as a father of a daughter, it's really devastating to know that there's a likelihood that she will lose confidence in herself when she gets to the 5th grade, and it goes down from there. Like that shit just sucks.
I say again, sometimes I think Thanos was correct.
Damn, how we get here? How we get to half of all living beings must disappear?
Man,
because we're doomed, man. Like we're doomed.
The way
like,
we treat each other, the way we talk about each other, the way we talk to each other,
woo.
like a lot of issues, like little chocolate girls come up, is coming from the people around them.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's coming from the children, the adults, the folks who are supposed to be there to protect them, and now you want to put lightning cream and bleaching cream all on your skin because you have been beaten down with this idea that black is bad. And yeah, we could say, oh, white supremacy and da da da. That has a role. That definitely has a role. But at some point in time, adults need to be adults.
Yeah,
need to be responsible for the stuff they say and do.
With power in words. You know, your words have power. Your thoughts have power, and you know what you think, what you say. Those things can come into reality. If you believe and think positive things, I would say positive things will probably happen and to you and around you.
But so, you can't positive thought your way into lighter skin. Like I'm sure that these people, she decided to make this decision, and she is probably reaping the benefits socially of having this skin tone in her community. I'm 100% sure she didn't do this, and people ain't looking at her like, oh my God, what have you done? They're like, you probably look, she's that much hotter. You know what I'm saying? She's that much more attractive. She did it for a reason.
I would say the camp is probably mixed. There are people who are looking at her like, why would you do this to yourself? And then other people who are probably saying, you know what, you should probably, you know, you look great. It's the reason why people still get these BBLs and everything else electively without potential, like from the masses without merit, right? People are doing these things electively to themselves. Listen, it's prerogative. They can do whatever they want to do. I could care less.
Exactly.
But when you look at some of the work that people get done to themselves and it's disproportionate to their natural physique.
I like to look at the work.
Sometimes people be like, man, why did you do that? What's going on?
John, you like the work, right?
Well, I mean, I follow some plastic surgeons. You know, I'm into that world because it is a whole reconstructive surgery world out there. Y'all know about that.
Jangles and things.
Yeah, I watched Nip Tuck. You know, Nip Tuck was fantastic when I was watching that with my wife. Then girlfriend, then fiance, then wife. You know, Nip Tuck was a show on FX. Right. Check it out. It was a great show.